Hi, Bill Diehl here, Western Southern Financial Group. Today, we're going to talk about IRAs and specifically ask this question. Why would someone ever convert from a traditional to a Roth IRA? What's the deal? Well, let's back up a little bit. Before we get into the why, let's start with the what. And by that, I mean a quick overview of the difference between traditional and Roth IRAs. Both are tax advantage retirement savings vehicles. The difference is when and how you get that tax break. For traditional IRAs, your contributions are tax deductible when you make them. Your contributions grow tax deferred, but your withdrawals you take during retirement are taxed. What appeals to a lot of people with traditional IRAs is the expectation that they will be in a lower tax bracket after they have retired, so they'll pay less overall in taxes. For Roth IRAs, not only do your earnings grow tax-free, but after you retire, qualified withdrawals you take from your account are not taxed. Although you are not able to deduct your contributions, your earnings grow tax-free when you purchase a Roth IRA. Here's an analogy that may help, and I love a good analogy. Let me take you on a quick vacation, and I'll be glad to be your tour guide. But first, we have to pick a destination before I can help you plan your trip. You decide to take your family on a trip to Hawaii, and you look forward to relaxing on the beach, watching the kids play in the sand, going to your first luau, and seeing the beautiful rainbows and waterfalls. Now, there are different types of vacations, just like there are different types of IRAs. You have to decide if you want to go on that traditional vacation where you pay for everything once you get to your destination, or that all-inclusive vacation where everything is already paid for up front. When you purchase a Roth IRA, your earnings grow tax-free. So when you get to your destination and start taking the money out, you don't have to pay any taxes on that money. That is kind of like taking an all-inclusive vacation where everything is already paid for. This will give you more freedom when you arrive in Hawaii because you don't have to worry about how much it's going to cost. All your meals, excursions, and entertainment have already been paid for at your oceanfront resort. You even learn that your trip includes a complimentary snorkeling adventure. So the choice is yours. Do you want your money to grow tax deferred or tax free? So now let's discuss what a conversion is. A conversion occurs when someone moves part of their traditional IRA or perhaps all of it into a Roth IRA. So why would someone want to do that? Well, if you think you may be in the same or a higher tax bracket when you retire, it may make sense to convert. Remember, the big advantage of Roth IRAs is that the withdrawals you take in retirement are not taxed. So you're paying taxes now when you're presumably in a lower tax bracket. Thing is, nobody has a crystal ball, and we can't predict what tax brackets will look like when we're ready to retire. Next, if you want to leave your money alone and not take withdrawals, you may decide it's better to convert over to a Roth. Here's why. If you have a traditional IRA, once you turn age 72, happy birthday! You have to start taking distributions whether you will need that money or not. And if you don't need the money, you're losing out on that tax-free growth. With a Roth, your money may continue to grow tax-free because there are no required minimum distributions. Finally, people who have an interest in creating a legacy for loved ones may want to convert to a Roth IRA, and again, the reason is taxes. That legacy could be tax-free due to the structure of the Roth IRA. Now your heirs would need to take required minimum distributions, but as long as your Roth has been in effect for 5 years, those distributions will be tax-free. Now that all sounds well and good, right? But as you may imagine, there are trade-offs. In most cases, you incur income taxes when you convert. Why? Because that traditional IRA was funded through tax-deductible contributions, and you're moving funds into a tax-exempt Roth. At some point, you have to pay taxes. Now, there is no penalty on withdrawing funds early if you're converting directly from the traditional to Roth. However, not only will income taxes be due, but you also need to pay taxes on any gains you've experienced in your traditional IRA. Another thing, if you're close to the top of your current income tax bracket, the distributions you take out of your traditional IRA and convert to a Roth could bump you up into the next tax bracket. And that means a higher tax rate. This is the reason why a lot of people convert only a portion of their existing traditional IRA. It's to help keep them from being bumped up. One other important thing to know is that once you convert to a Roth IRA, you can't go back to a traditional IRA. So you need to be fairly certain that this is the right thing for you before you act. Talk to your financial professional, tell them your desires, and together you can arrive at a plan that's right for you. When it comes to a Roth conversion, if you convert from a traditional IRA to a Roth IRA, you have to pay the taxes up front, but your earnings grow tax-free. That is kind of like paying the rate on the hotel room up front. So when you get to your destination, you can relax and know that your all-inclusive trip has been paid for. So that's the deal on Roth conversions. Thanks for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you did, please be sure to like it, tell your friends, and stay tuned for more.